if you don't wake up loving what you do every day, it doesn't mean that you shouldn't be doing it. And I started going, so what does this mean about how I want to communicate? And really it was about getting super honest and going, hey, so while you're trying to make your dreams come true, life happens and business is messy and this is what it looks like. And so yeah, we're building this business, we're getting great media hits, we're getting tons of attention, we've got hundreds of employees, and we're growing, and isn't that exciting? And look what still happens on the other side. And it doesn't mean that I don't get out of bed, because I guarantee you there are days that I'd really rather stay in bed and where I don't wake up loving what I do. But it was really about making that transition into going, it's time to bring some of those personal pieces to the table on the forefront so that people don't walk away feeling like idiots. Because in any given room, I mean, the fact is, most people don't have the ability to take on liability to become entrepreneurs or take those massive risks. And it is about what you can stomach, and not everybody has the emotional, spiritual, mental capacity to go make those next level things come true. And that's why they make better lawyers, accountants, doctors, because it's all different. Everybody's capacity is different. So I really wanted to bring something else to the game. And so I got up and I started talking for the first time about business is messy and what did that look like. And really the personal story is, I was raped when I was 18, and it was by someone I knew and trusted. I was on a trip to Montreal. I'm actually going to Montreal this week for the first time since I was 18, which is a bit daunting. I was on a trip to Montreal, and I woke up in the middle of feeling like, you know, I had a baseball bat coming into my throat and out of my mouth, and I fell onto the floor and I was able to escape out of the house. I had friends with me in the house who were able to get me to a date rape clinic, and then immediately onto a plane and back to our parents. It was incredibly difficult. One of the things that I learned though is actually how rampant this is and what a massive issue it is. And at first what you do is you retract. And in my case, I got really sad and I was really quiet, and for a girl who talks all the time, not talking for a couple of months is a big deal. And I wasn't okay for a few months, and in most cases it actually has lifelong effects. But the thing that was interesting, as I later developed PTSD and depression, was that this wasn't the straw that broke the camel's back for me. When I was 21, in a totally unrelated incident, I had dated a guy for a few months the year before, and he sort of disappeared into the background, and I hadn't heard from him. And then in fall, actually the first fall of launching Blow, while we were in the middle of sort of taking this business to the next level, a man broke into my apartment and he held me hostage in my apartment and beat me up for 6 hours. He barricaded both exits. He ate my SIM card so that I couldn't call the police, and he terrorized me for 6 hours, and I thought I was gonna die. He told me that if he couldn't have me, that nobody else could, and that I wasn't meant to live if I wasn't gonna be with him. And that was the straw that broke the camel's back. That night, when I was able to finally talk him out of my apartment, the assailant, I was able to convince him to leave. The police showed up at my apartment that night. He turned himself in hours later. So what did I do? After being held hostage and beat up in my apartment for hours, I went to school the next day at 8 a.m. because I'm all about momentum, and I knew if I didn't get up and go, I might not get up again. So for me, that was really the key to building Blow and to getting through that hump. Was about momentum, was about getting up every day, was about not backing down, was about my routines, was about making sure that I was following through on the commitments that I said that I would. And that really is what kept me afloat.